The message came on a Tuesday. Jun Park was working late in his lab when the blue light on his desk began to flash. He touched the small disk, and a face appeared in the air above it. "Mr. Park, I'm sorry to disturb you. My name is Kang. I represent the legal affairs of Dr. Ta Kim." Jun sat up straight. He hadn't heard from Ta in nearly 2 years, not since his old friend had left for the research station orbiting Proxima Centauri. "Is everything okay?" Jun asked. The man's face was serious. "I regret to inform you that Dr. Kim died 3 days ago in an accident during an exploration mission." Jun felt like someone had punched him in the stomach. Ta was dead. They had been best friends at university, roommates for 4 years. Even though they had drifted apart, the news hit hard. "There's more," Kang continued. "Dr. Kim left specific instructions that concern you directly." Jun barely heard the next words. Something about a will, about Ta's final wishes. But then one sentence cut through his shock. "Dr. Kim has named you as the guardian and bondmate to his Cyrillian wife, Nari." "His what?" Jun almost shouted. Todd wasn't married. "And what's a Cyrillian?" Kang explained patiently. Cyrillians were a humanoid species from a distant system. They were known for their blue skin, telepathic abilities, and their need to form psychic bonds with compatible beings. Ta had formed such a bond with Nari 2 years ago. "Without a bondmate, Nari will suffer severe decline," Kang said. "Dr. Kim was very clear that you were his choice as successor." Jun couldn't process it. "Why me? I haven't even seen Ta in years." "He left you a message." Kang pressed something on his desk. The image changed to Ta's face. "Hey, old friend." Ta looked tired, his eyes shadowed. "If you're seeing this, then I'm gone. I'm sorry to dump this on you, but you're the only one I trust. Nari needs a bondmate to survive. Our minds connect in a way that keeps her healthy. Without it, she'll die slowly and painfully." He paused. "I know it's a lot to ask, but please, just meet her. You always had the biggest heart of anyone I knew. That's why it has to be you." The message ended. Jun sat in silence. "Ms. Nari will arrive at Earth Station in 2 days," Kang said. "Will you meet her?" What choice did he have? "Yes," Jun said. "I'll be there." Earth Station was crowded with humans and aliens of all kinds. Jun had never left Earth before, and the variety of beings made him dizzy. He held a small sign with Nari written on it, feeling foolish. "You are Jun Park." The voice behind him was soft but clear. He turned and caught his breath. She was tall and slender, with skin the color of a summer sky at dusk. Her hair fell in silver waves to her shoulders, but it was her eyes that held him, large, entirely black, with tiny points of light like stars. "I am Nari," she said, "bondmate of Ta Kim." Jun tried to speak but couldn't find words. She tilted her head slightly. "Your mind is very loud," she said, "full of confusion and fear. You can read my thoughts." Jun finally managed. "Not exactly. I sense emotions, impressions. Ta could control his thoughts better." Her voice held sadness. "I miss his mind." Jun didn't know what to say. They went to a quiet area of the station, a small garden designed to help travelers relax. Sitting beside a small pool, Nari explained more. "My people form mental bonds that help balance our brain chemistry. Without this connection, our minds begin to fail. It is painful." She looked at the water. "Ta saved me when my first bondmate died. I don't understand why he chose me," Jun said. "We were friends in school, but that was years ago." "He spoke of you often," Nari said. "He said you had a rare quality. True empathy. He believed you could form a strong bond." "But I don't know how to do this," Jun protested. "I'm just a biologist. I study plants, not alien brain chemistry." "The bond forms naturally with compatible minds," she explained. "It requires only consent and proximity. Over time, it strengthens." Jun ran his hands through his hair. "This is crazy. I can't just." Marry an alien I just met. The bond is not marriage as humans understand it, Neri said. It is a mental connection that allows me to live. Nothing more is required. She looked at him with those star-filled eyes. I do not wish to die, Jun Park, but I will not force this upon you. Jun thought of Ta's message. You're the only one I trust. He looked at Nari again. Beyond her alien appearance, he saw something familiar. Fear, loss, hope. How long do we have to decide? He asked. I have perhaps 30 days before the effects become severe, she said. Jun took a deep breath. Okay, let's try something temporary. You can stay with me while we figure this out. Maybe there's another solution. For the first time, Neri smiled. It transformed her face. Thank you, Jun Park. Ta was right about your heart. As they left the station, Jun wondered what he had gotten himself into. An alien roommate, a telepathic bond. It sounded like science fiction. Yet as Neri walked beside him, her movements graceful despite Earth's stronger gravity, he felt strangely calm. Your world is very bright, she said, looking up at the blue sky. Is that bad? Jun asked. No, she said quietly. It feels like hope. Living with an alien was harder than Jun had expected. He gave Neri the spare room in his small apartment, but their problems went beyond space. Your emotions are very loud, Neri said one morning when Jun knocked over his coffee. You can feel my frustration, he asked, mopping up the mess. I feel everything. Human emotions are like bright colors that change too fast. She pressed her fingers to her temples. Ta learned to control his thoughts around me. He would picture a calm lake when he felt strong emotions. Jun tried to imagine a lake, but it was hard to maintain the image. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was hurting you. You are not hurting me, Neri said. But without a proper bond, your emotions are messy. Working together was no easier. Jun had gotten permission from Neri to join him at the Earth Science Center, where he studied plant biology. Her knowledge of alien plant species was valuable, but many of his coworkers kept their distance. They stare at me, Neri noted as they walked through the lab. Humans aren't used to seeing Cerealians, Jun explained, though he knew it was more than that. Earth had only joined the galactic community 15 years ago, and many people still distrusted aliens. During lunch, Jun's friend Min sat with them in the cafeteria. He studied Neri with open curiosity. So your people are telepaths? Min asked. Can you read my mind right now? We are not mind readers, Neri explained patiently. We sense emotions and form mental connections with compatible beings. It evolved as a survival mechanism on our world. Why do you need these bonds? Min asked. Neri hesitated. Our brains produce chemicals that become unbalanced without a bond. It causes pain, then mental decline. That sounds inconvenient, Min said. It was not a problem when our population was larger, Neri said. Now there are fewer of us each generation. Later, Jun asked her about this. They sat in his small living room. The lights dimmed to accommodate Neri's sensitive eyes. Are your people dying out? He asked gently. Neri nodded. A genetic disorder has spread through our population. It affects our ability to reproduce. That is why Tai's work was so important. Tai was studying this disorder. Yes. He believed that human DNA contained something that could help us. Her star-filled eyes met his. That is also why he bonded with me. He needed to understand how the bond works to find a cure. The next day at work, the director of the center, Dr. Wan, called Jun into his office. Park, I need to discuss your guest, he said, not offering Jun a seat. Several staff members have expressed concerns. Concerns, Jun repeated. About what? About having a telepathic alien with access to our research. Dr. Wan frowned. Cerealians are known for their diplomatic roles. Some worry she might be gathering information. Jun felt anger rising in his chest. Neri is not a spy. She was Ta's research partner and his wife. Dr. Kim's work was his own business, Juan said sharply. But bringing alien influence into our center is another matter. I'm limiting her access to your department only. That evening, Jun returned home frustrated. The moment he entered, Nari winced. Your anger gives me a headache, she said softly. I'm sorry. Jun tried to picture a calm lake. Juan is being unfair to you. Many species fear what they don't understand. Nari's voice was sad but not surprised. May I show you something? She pulled out a small device and activated it. A hologram appeared showing star charts and DNA sequences. This was Ta's research. He gave me a copy before his last mission. Jun studied the complex data. I don't understand all this. My field is botany, not genetics. Ta discovered that human DNA has unusual adaptive properties, Nari explained. He believed it could help cure our genetic disorder. She hesitated. But someone didn't want this research to continue. What do you mean? The accident that killed him, her voice faltered. It was not an accident. Jun stared at her. You think someone murdered Ta? I cannot prove it. But the expedition files show tampering with his oxygen system. She looked at him with intensity. And now someone has been accessing his private laboratory at night. How do you know this? I set alerts on his security system. She pointed to the datapad. Someone used his access codes 2 nights ago. Jun felt a chill. Do you think they're looking for this research? Yes. And they will eventually find us. Nari's hand trembled slightly. Ta was close to a breakthrough about human cerulean bonds. He discovered something important about your species. What was it? I don't know exactly. His final notes are encrypted. Her eyes met his. But he believed humans have a special ability that no other species possesses, something that makes you valuable to the galaxy. And dangerous to some. That night, Jun couldn't sleep. He stared at the ceiling, thinking about Ta, about conspiracies, about the woman from another world sleeping in the next room. What had his friend discovered that was worth killing for? As dawn approached, Jun made a decision. If someone had murdered Ta to stop his research, he would find out why. He owed his friend that much. And strangely, he realized he now felt responsible for Mary too. Not just because of Ta's request, but because something within him wanted to protect her. Even if he didn't fully understand the bond between them, he could feel it growing stronger each day. Jun decided they needed to see Ta's lab for themselves. Getting inside wasn't easy. The Science Center's security had been increased, and Jun's access card only worked in certain areas. But Neri had memorized Ta's security codes. Is this breaking in? Jun whispered as they slipped into the restricted wing after midnight. Ta wanted us to continue his work, Neri replied simply. We are honoring his wishes. Ta's lab was smaller than Jun expected, tucked away in a corner of the building. Inside, everything was neat and organized, just as Ta had always been in school. Samples lined the walls. Complicated machines hummed quietly. What exactly are we looking for? Jun asked, keeping his voice low. Ta kept a private research log, not on the main system. Neri moved to a shelf and pressed a hidden panel. A small compartment opened, revealing a data tablet. Here. They sat side by side at Ta's desk, shoulders touching as they activated the tablet. Neri entered a long series of numbers and letters. His password was, "My name in Cerulean, and your birthday," she said quietly. My birthday. Why would he use that? He always said you were the person he trusted most. Neri's eyes met his. He believed if anything happened to him, you would help. The screen came to life, showing pages of notes and diagrams. Most were about cerulean and human DNA comparisons. Jun didn't understand all the science, but he recognized enough to be amazed. Humans have an unusual genetic structure, Neri explained, pointing to certain sequences. Your DNA adapts and forms connections in ways no other species can. Is that special? Jun asked. Very. Most species have fixed genetic patterns, but humans, she traced a line of code. You change, you connect, you adapt. They spent hours reading Ta's research. As the night went on, Jun began to understand. Humans had evolved with a remarkable ability to form bonds, emotional, psychological, and even biological, with other species. This trait, which seemed normal to humans, was actually rare in the galaxy. Ta discovered that human serine bonds create new neural pathways, Neri said. These pathways could potentially cure our genetic disorder. So humans could save your species. Jun was shocked. Just by forming bonds with your people. Yes, but such bonds must be freely given, freely accepted. Her voice softened. They cannot be forced or manufactured. That's why someone killed Ta, Jun realized. They don't want the cure to be something that can't be controlled. Exactly. If human serine bonds are the cure, no company can patent it. No government can regulate it. Neri looked sad. Some would rather see my species die than lose the chance to profit from our salvation. As dawn approached, they gathered what research they could onto portable drives. Just as they were finishing, Neri suddenly grabbed Jun's arm. Someone's coming, she whispered. 3 people. Their minds feel angry. Jun didn't question how she knew. In the weeks they had lived together, he had learned to trust her senses. Is there another way out? He asked. Neri pointed to a maintenance door. They slipped through just as the main door opened. Through a crack, Jun saw Dr. Huan enter with 2 security guards. Search everything, Huan ordered. Find Ta's research files. They must be here somewhere. Jun and Neri crept through the narrow maintenance corridor. They had nearly reached the exit when Neri suddenly pushed Jun down. A second later, something hit the wall where his head had been. They're trying to kill us, she whispered. A security guard had spotted them and fired some kind of weapon. Jun could hear footsteps approaching. How did you know? Jun gasped. I felt his intention. Neri's hand was still on his chest. Our bond is growing stronger. I can sense danger to you now. They ran through the building's back passages, finally reaching an emergency exit. The alarm would sound when they opened it. Once we go through, we can't come back, Jun said. Neri nodded. I know. I'm leaving everything behind. My job, my home. Yes. She looked at him, those star-filled eyes serious. Do you regret meeting me? Jun thought about his quiet life before Neri arrived. It had been peaceful, predictable, and completely ordinary. Now he was running for his life, uncovering conspiracies, and bonded to an alien. Strangely, he didn't regret any of it. No, he said honestly, I don't regret it. For the second time, he saw her truly smile. It transformed her face, making her look almost human in her joy. They pushed through the door together. As the alarm screamed behind them, they ran into the early morning light. Where do we go? Neri asked. Jun thought quickly. Ta mentioned a friend once, someone who helped aliens in trouble. I think I can find him. That night, they boarded a transport to the coast. As the city lights faded behind them, Jun felt Neri's mind touch his. It wasn't words exactly, more like feelings, gratitude, hope, and something deeper he couldn't name yet. Your thoughts are quieter now, she observed, more like Ta's became. I'm learning, Jun said, and I think our bond is helping. Yes, she agreed. It grows stronger each day. As they traveled through the darkness, Jun realized something important. He had started this journey out of obligation to an old friend, but now he was continuing it for Neri and for himself. Whatever the truth was, they would find it together. They traveled for 3 days, first by train, then by boat, and finally on foot through thick forests. Neri struggled with Earth's gravity and bright sunlight. Jun often had to help her walk when she became tired. By the 3rd day, she could barely stand. The bond is weakening, she explained as they rested under a tree. Without a proper connection, My system is failing. June felt helpless. What can I do? The full bond requires a ceremony, she said. A joining of minds. But we need someone who knows the ritual. According to Ta's notes, there was a place where humans and aliens lived together in secret, a community hidden in the mountains where people like Ta had found refuge. Their leader was a scientist named Da who had worked with Ta years ago. When they finally reached the hidden valley, Jun was amazed. Small houses dotted the landscape. Humans worked alongside beings from at least a dozen different worlds. No one seemed afraid. No one stared at Nari. An old man met them at the entrance. He had white hair and kind eyes. "You must be Jun Park," he said. "Ta told me you might come one day." "You're Da?" Jun asked. The old man nodded. "Ta and I studied together many years ago. Before he left to work with the Cerulans, he looked at Nari with concern. She needs medical attention. The bond sickness is advanced." They took Nari to a small building with medical equipment. A human doctor and a tall, thin alien with 4 arms worked together to stabilize her. "She needs a proper bond soon," the doctor told June. "Her brain chemistry is dangerously unbalanced." Day took June to his home, a simple cabin filled with books and strange objects from many worlds. He served tea while explaining more about the community. "We call this place Haven," he said. "It's where those who choose to form bonds with other species can live in peace." "Why do you have to hide?" June asked. "Some powerful people believe that human-alien bonds should be controlled," Dad explained. "They think our ability to connect with other species is a resource to be exploited." "That's what Ty discovered," June said. "That humans have some special ability to bond with Cerulans." "Not just Cerulans," Dad corrected. "Many species. Humans have a unique neural flexibility. Our brains form connections that other species cannot." He sipped his tea. "It makes us valuable. And dangerous to those who prefer control over cooperation." Jun showed Dad the research they had taken from Ta's lab. The old scientist studied it carefully. "Tai was right," he said finally. "Human-Cerulean bonds can reverse their genetic deterioration. The neural pathways created during bonding actually repair damaged DNA sequences." "But why kill him for discovering this?" Jun asked. "Because it cannot be patented or sold," Day explained. "A true bond must be freely given. It cannot be forced or manufactured in a lab." Some corporations had invested billions in finding a pharmaceutical solution to the Cerulean problem. Taz's discovery made those investments worthless. Over the next few days, Jun met many human-alien pairs. Some were couples like Ta and Nari. Others shared working bonds or friendship bonds. All seemed to benefit from their connections. Meanwhile, Nari grew stronger as the community's healers helped stabilize her condition. June visited her every day. Each time, he felt their connection growing deeper. "I can sense your feelings more clearly now," she told him one evening as they walked through the valley. "Your mind is becoming familiar to me." "I think I can feel you too," June admitted. "Sometimes I know what you're feeling before you speak." She smiled. "That is the beginning of a true bond." "I thought we already had a bond," Jun said, confused. "We have a preliminary connection," she explained. "A true bond is deeper, more complete." She hesitated. "But it must be chosen freely. I would never ask you to." "What if I want to?" June interrupted. The words surprised him, but he knew they were true. Nari looked at him with those star-filled eyes. "Do you?" June thought about how his life had changed since meeting her, how he had gone from a lonely scientist to someone fighting for a cause larger than himself, how he felt when they were together, a sense of rightness he had never known before. "Yes," he said simply. "I do." The bonding ceremony took place under the stars. The whole community gathered to witness it. Dad explained that their bond would help prove Ta's theory, that willing human-Cerulean connections could heal the genetic damage. "You will be the first to test this theory," he told them. "If it works, you will help save an entire species." June and Neri sat facing each other in the center of a circle. Their hands touched. Day spoke words in an ancient Syrian language. Then June felt it, Neri's mind touching his completely. Not just emotions now, but thoughts, memories, dreams. He saw her world through her eyes, felt her loneliness, her hope. And she saw him, his quiet childhood, his friendship with Ta, his fear of never truly connecting with anyone. "I see you," they said together, completing the ritual. That night, they ran tests on Neri's DNA. Dag compared samples from before and after the bonding. "It's working," he said in amazement. "The damaged sequences are already beginning to repair themselves." June felt a wave of joy from Neri through their new bond. "Tai was right," she whispered. "Human bonds can save us." "Not just any humans," Dag corrected. "Willing partners who choose each other. That's what makes this special. That's humanity's true gift to the galaxy. Not just our DNA, but our capacity to choose connection." As they left the lab, June knew their journey wasn't over. Dr. Juan and his people would still be looking for them. The research needed to be shared with other Syrians. The truth needed to come out. But for now, walking hand in hand under Earth's bright moon, they had hope. And that was enough. 3 months after escaping the Science Center, June and Neri stood before the Galactic Council. The Great Chamber held representatives from 100 worlds. June had never seen so many different species in one place. He felt nervous, but Neri's calm flowed through their bond, steadying him. "We are here to present evidence of crimes against both human and Syrian peoples," June began. His voice echoed in the vast room. The council members listened as June and Neri told their story. They explained Ta's research and how he had discovered that willing human-Syrian bonds could heal the genetic disorder threatening the Syrian species. They showed proof that Ta had been murdered to keep this discovery secret. Companies wanted to sell a cure, June explained. They didn't want people to know that the solution was something that couldn't be bought or sold. Day presented the medical evidence. Over 50 human Syrian pairs from Haven had volunteered for testing. All showed the same results. The Syrian partners were healing. "This is remarkable," said the head of the council, a tall being with silver skin. "But why hide such a beneficial discovery?" "Because it changes the balance of power," Neri answered. "If Syrians can be healed through voluntary bonds with humans, we cannot be controlled by those who claim to be developing a cure." Evidence from Tai's files showed that Dr. Juan had been working with a large company called Galactic Pharmaceuticals. They had invested billions in a chemical cure for the Syrians. Tai's discovery would make their research worthless. Dr. Juan ordered the sabotage of Ta's oxygen system, Jun said, showing the proof they had gathered. He tried to destroy all of Ta's research. The council deliberated for days. Finally, they'd reached a decision. Dr. Juan and the executives from Galactic Pharmaceuticals would face justice for murder and conspiracy. The research would be made public. Most importantly, humans and Syrians would be free to form bonds if they chose to. "This discovery changes our understanding of humanity's place in the galaxy," the council leader announced. "What was once seen as a primitive species has a unique gift, the ability to form deep, healing connections with other beings." After the trial, June and Neri returned to Earth. The Science Center had new leadership now. They were given Tez's old lab and funding to continue his work. "What should we call our research center?" Neri asked as they set up the new equipment. "The Ta Kim Institute for Interspecies Understanding," June suggested, "to honor his memory." "He would like that." Neri agreed. Through their bond, June felt her sadness for Ta mix with her hope for the future. Word spread quickly among the Syrians. Many came to Earth seeking compatible human partners. Not all formed romantic bonds. Some created working partnerships, others friendship bonds. Each type of connection helped heal the Syrian genetic damage in different ways. One evening, 6 months after the council's decision, June and Neri sat on the roof of their new home, watching the stars. Earth's moon was full, its light making Nari's blue skin shimmer. "I received a message today," she said. "The first Cerulean child was born to a bonded pair. The baby shows no signs of the genetic disorder." June felt her joy through their bond. "That means it's working. The next generation will be healthy." "Yes, thanks to Ta. And to you." She turned to face him. "When I first came to Earth, I only hoped to survive. I never expected to find happiness," June suggested. "Home," she corrected. "I have found my home with you." Their bond had grown stronger each day. Now June could not imagine life without the gentle presence of Nari's mind touching his. What had once seemed strange now felt essential. "I've been thinking," June said, "about what to do next." "What do you mean?" "The traditional Cerulean bonding is only the first step, right? There's a formal union that usually follows." Nari nodded. "Yes, but that is for those who choose to be life partners. It is not required for the healing bond." "I know, but I want it." June took her hands in his. "Not because I have to. Not because of Ta's request. But because I choose you, Nari, as my partner in everything." Her joy flowed through their bond like sunlight. "I choose you too, June Park." Under the same stars that had witnessed their first bonding, they pledged themselves to each other. The ceremony blended human and Cerulean traditions. Friends from Haven attended, along with new allies from the Science Center. After the ceremony, Day approached them. The old scientist looked pleased. "Ta would be proud," he said. "His research saved a species. His friendship changed 2 lives." "More than 2, June corrected, looking around at the humans and aliens celebrating together. "I think it's changing everything." As the years passed, their work expanded. The Ta Kim Institute became famous throughout the galaxy. Humans were welcomed on more worlds as their unique ability to form bonds became known. What had once been seen as humanity's weakness, their emotional nature, was now recognized as their greatest strength. One night, 10 years after they first met, June and Nari stood in their garden. A young Cerulean girl played nearby, their adopted daughter, who had lost her parents during the final days of the genetic crisis. "Do you ever regret it?" Nari asked suddenly. "Getting that message from Ta, having your life changed completely?" June didn't need to think about his answer. "Never. He gave me the greatest gift possible." "What was that?" June smiled. "He helped me find where I belong." Through their bond, he felt Nari's complete agreement. Together, they had created something neither could have found alone. A bridge between worlds, a family, a future. And somewhere among the stars, June liked to think, Tai was watching and smiling.